You have a life outside of work and it should support your career success. And that's why today I want to talk to you about 5 habits that have nothing to do with work that can help you get promoted, get paid more, and be overall more successful at work. So let's get all up in your business to talk about them. I bet you're doing at least 2 already. The first habit that will make you more successful that has nothing to do with work is movement. Yup. Exercise. Regular exercise is a fantastic stress management tool. Whether you're dealing with a roller coaster that is a fast-growing startup, just had a rough day with a difficult coworker, or you're in a toxic job, workplace stress happens. And exercise is a positive coping mechanism to work off that extra energy. It will also increase your productivity, your energy, and your focus when you're actually at work. Obviously, there's mental health benefits and physical benefits to exercise as well. But really, I think the main thing with getting in some movement most days of the week is it's the ultimate act of self-care. And I don't know if this is of interest to you or not, but 76% of rich people say that they exercise at least 30 minutes most days of the week. So hey, maybe it could even help your bank account. If you follow me over on Instagram, you know that I'm a Pilates regular and I'm also a runner. And back in my corporate days, my yoga mat and spinning classes were how I blew off steam from work. Really got me through a lot. And I know I'm not alone because recently I did ask you guys over on Instagram how many of you guys did have some, regular movement, and vast majority of you did. So kudos, friends. And I know how grumbly people get about exercise, but I just want to be clear. This isn't about going and doing some high intensity thing or getting all ripped or anything like that. If that's your goal, totally cool. I support you in your goals. I personally think that for most people, movement doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be time consuming, and it absolutely should not be a joy suck. For example, especially on a frustrating day at work, take a lunch break and go for a walk around the block. Go get yourself a coffee from your favorite shop a few blocks away. You'll feel refreshed. You'll find clarity with problems that you're working on, and you can feel good about yourself for prioritizing you. And actually, it's also going to help us with our next success habit that has nothing to do with work, and this one is my favorite one. Get the sleep you need. This is definitely the laziest success habit that you can have. And I love it. Literally, take a nap. But for real, I know that this one can be hard. You have work, your social life, you're trying to get some exercise in. Gotta make time for Netflix. Most adults need between 7 and 9 hours a night, and that amount can feel really unattainable. Especially when you need to be at your desk at 9 a.m. or else you'll get one of those
"Why aren't you online yet?"
pings from your boss on Teams. Because of course they don't care that they were emailing you at 11:30 p.m. last night. Making time to get the sleep that you need is absolutely worth it. Again, we see increases in focus, energy, and productivity when we're well rested. You'll feel like you're on your A game. I know I'm personally someone who needs a lot, but also has insomnia and small children. But I also very much feel the massive difference between being well rested and being in a state of sleep deprivation. And actually having a wind down routine is something that helped me get more sleep a lot, which brings me directly to the third success habit that will make you more successful that has nothing to do with work, and that's reading. Seriously, is there anything better than a comfy couch and a good book? Actually, when I was researching for my last video, this was a habit that came up on a lot of lists. And for good reason. There are the obvious benefits. Knowledge acquisition, especially if you are a nonfiction genre junkie like me, expanding your vocabulary and taking on new perspectives. It also helps reduce stress and increases focus, analytical skills, and memory. Just like with exercise, this doesn't mean that you need to read a book a day. This is Future Jenny coming in with a shameless plug because I did announce my book, which is just right back here, and you can pre-order it at careerglowupbook.com. Spend a few minutes with a good book. Also, audiobooks are a thing. I actually came across a study a few years ago that looked at brainwaves of reading an actual book versus listening to a book, and the way that the brain reacted was actually very similar. So you do get to count listening to a book as reading a book. Plus, it makes it really easy to take them on the go, so you can listen to them when you're walking or commuting or whatever. Now, all of the habits that we've talked about so far are pretty much things that you do on your own. So let's talk about something that we do with other people for our next success habit that has nothing to do with work. And that is spending time with your friends and family. Successful people have lives outside of work. They make time for their friends. They make time for their family because they know that social bonds are so important. Even introverts like me are social creatures. Having a support system is necessary, not just in your career, but in your life in general. Social relationships increase happiness, decrease stress, and so much more. And all of the success habits that I've mentioned are things that we can actually do with other people. For example, you can go for a walk with a friend. You can join a book club and read with others and maybe even expand your social circle that way. The point is, make time for the people in your life. After all, jobs come and go, but your friends and family will hopefully be around for a while. Which brings me to the last success habit that has nothing to do with work. And in my opinion, this one is the most transformative and the easiest to implement. Actually, wait, I want to add a bonus tip before we talk about that last extraordinarily transformative success habit. And I'm gonna call this one a bonus tip because it's not work, but it's derivative of work. And that is managing your money. Of course, we all want to make piles of it. That is a great success habit to have. But managing your money is a little bit of a thing. I was super lucky because when I was growing up, my mom was a financial planner. So she instilled in me some fantastic money management habits, like regularly saving and the importance of having a no shit fund, not accumulating unnecessary high interest credit card debt, and living within my means, unless we were shopping and there was a really nice bag on sale. Then she became an enabler. And obviously in this video, I'm not going to deep dive into any of those things, but if you do want me to start talking about money a little bit more around here, let me know in the comments. But I want to talk about money as a habit here because it has been one of the biggest career success catalysts for me. It allowed me to make really bold moves. My ability to manage my money is what allowed me to quit my job with no plan and no prospects in the middle of the Great Recession. It allowed me to say no to an awful job offer when I immigrated to the United States because that company thought they can exploit me as a new immigrant. It let me feel relief instead of anxiety when I was let go from my toxic job. And when I was ready to leave corporate, it allowed me to self-fund my startup. I don't know who created the term, but having you money is a vibe that I highly suggest everyone cultivate. Okay, back to the totally not work related tip. And that is gratitude. Gratitude is transformative. It increases happiness and resilience. It helps you see opportunities in front of you. Because trust me, we can be very blind to them sometimes. Stop saving gratitude for Thanksgiving and make it a regular thing in your life. It really should be something that you practice daily. In fact, I want you to go and watch this video right now so you can get your gratitude practice off the ground and reap all the benefits.